Hi, everybody. Welcome to Badass Women's Wednesdays. I am here with my co-author, Jasmin Mackinnon. Hi, Jasmin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How is
Awesome.
it over there on the East Coast?
It's been amazing. And we have a heat wave. It's not like an Ontario heat wave, but it's been amazing to have such a hot summer and be able to enjoy the ocean. So it's awesome.
Oh, nice. So what is the difference between an Ontario heat wave and a Nova Scotian heat wave?
So if
Just out
it's
of
like in
curiosity.
the mid 30s, we're like dying.
Okay. Okay. So, yeah, about the same as here.
Yeah.
We're,
So we're just not used to it. Usually, it's in the summer, it's like 24 or 28. So we're feeling it this year, but I'm not complaining.
yeah. We've, same here. I know it's 29 where I'm at right now.
See, that's comfortable.
Yeah, yeah, it's all right. It's we don't have that nice ocean breeze that you guys have though. I don't know if you do get that
Not where I am, but when you get closer to to the
to the shore.
it's
Is it
cool.
very humid?
It's humid more inland, but not like Ontario. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
it's
Yeah,
all
no.
right. You can
Ontario's
see
very
that.
brutal.
Yeah.
Yes, I know. The other night, I think it was 87 in my house Fahrenheit, and I'm going, okay, I know I complain about Ontario winters, but I do like 14 degrees at night.
Oh my gosh,
I didn't remember what sleep was for the next like 5 days during that time. I
that's
luckily
the
cooled down
thing.
a little bit. Yeah, it was a little bit crazy.
Yeah,
Oh, perfect.
I
Well, I'm
remember those
glad
days.
I'm glad you're able to join us today.
Yeah, thank
Uh,
you.
so I would like to start off by asking you, can you tell those who are viewing right now a little bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, of course. My name is Jasmine. Okay, no. I'll start with that. I'm a mom of two. I have a son and a daughter and a husband, and I'm an entrepreneur. I've been in the health and wellness industry for almost 20 years. I have a lot of different modalities in my toolbox. So I started out as a massage therapist, but over time I've been learning different holistic modalities. That's kind of my approach to all my wellness of my business. It's all like kind of a holistic approach.
Hmm.
And so it's just branched out from massage therapy into Reiki, reflexology.
Oh,
I
nice.
also, and I also do body sugaring, which is all natural hair removal for those of you who don't know. Um, it's not a very well-known thing in the Maritime, so it's kind of a nice little niche to have. And
Yep.
so that's my background basically. I've been working with clients for almost 20 years, so you get a good sense of people's stories, and you learn a lot about humans in general. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, and we were talking about this earlier. I love sugaring. Tried it before. It's a
Yes.
great thing. I think what was it? I said I was the only one that likes it. I found it relaxing. I found like I don't find it painful at all.
Yeah, it's
Um,
way less painful than wax.
painful, yeah, because waxing, you're like, oh my god, what did I do? Why did I agree
It
to
gets
this?
to hot. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's and I make all my own product too, so it's kind of nice that I know exactly what
Oh,
it is
cool.
and everything too. So yeah, it's
Yeah, that's
amazing.
really neat. Oh, cool.
Try it, people. Try it.
Yes, definitely. Send me a link for that, and I can
I
as
will.
well.
Yeah.
Perfect. So, Jasmine, what made you decide to become an author and write in Fuck Fear?
I think I've been a little bit kind of keen on the idea of writing something. My family has an interesting just story. It's not your typical beaver cleaver family. So I thought that would be interesting. But when I saw the title, Fuck Fear, it very much spoke to me. For one, I feel like I've been stepping into a lot of things that make me uncomfortable and a little bit
Yeah.
afraid. So that was kind of cool. But I like the idea of not letting fear own you or limit you or
Mm-hmm.
hold you back. Because I feel like, another thing that I work with is women and women empowerment. And, I'm always encouraging them to work through the discomfort. And a lot of it is fear. Most of it's you're afraid of something, right? So
Yep.
I thought, well, here we go. Let's fuck the fear and let's tell one of my personal stories of my own personal experiences in regards to that.
Yeah, and I've read your story, and you're absolutely inspirational. So,
Oh, thank you. You are
that,
too.
thank
Seriously,
you. So, guys,
we
that
all
means get the
are.
book. Get the
Right.
book. Oh, sorry. Hold on. There we go. Get the book. Woo! Oh, awesome. So like many of us, you're a first time author. How was your experience as a first time writer? And
Um, Go ahead.
what did you find challenging, and what did you like about the process?
Okay, so I loved the process. It was challenging, definitely. Um, I think it was. I thought initially it would be hard to even get 2,000 words. We were allowed to up to 4,500 words.
Mhm.
I thought getting to 2,000 words would be really difficult because I didn't know if I'd have enough to say. But then I realized I was up at
Yeah.
10,000 words. And I have to cut it back.
You're like, okay,
Anyway,
gotta dial this back a little bit.
I got some things to say apparently. But it was really cool to like do the process of taking out parts of the story that were maybe interesting but not as important to make the point you really want to make and have the impact you want to have. So taking out just kind of the wordy stuff, and so that was really interesting, just to really fine tune everything. And I think sort of the challenging part was as you're going through your own personal story, it brings up a lot of memories, a lot of emotions, things I haven't thought about for a lot of years, and it was interesting. And also getting my mom's blessing. She's a big part of my story. So getting her blessing, and she was full on 100% supportive. Like, she's like, I'll buy your book, no problem. I love you and I support you. So that was, just to even ask and her be okay. But she didn't read it before I made it public. So when she got the book at the launch, that was her first time reading it. But, so it was great feedback from her. But yeah, and then also, I have a lot of clients, and a lot of my clients support me, and they have now bought my book and they've read my story, and it's a vulnerable position to be in. But I think it's also empowering for me and them to know that, like, I have a lot of people say, "Oh, you got your shit together," and I'm like, I'm just like you. I try and I screw up all the time, and this is my background. It's not like I grew up with my shit together, but you got to work at it. So
exactly, and I don't think anybody even you don't always have your shit together and whatnot. I think it's always a working process. And I think I've had a few people say that to me. Oh my God, you're 28 and you're so have everything together. And I'm like, yeah, not really still. I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and I don't want that pressure of having that stuff together per se. I'm just going to enjoy life, and I don't know everything, and I don't want to know everything, and I find out as I go along.
Yeah, you learn as you go, and you learn
as you go.
Right?
Exactly, yeah. So, and going back to about trying to fit everything in 4,500, I think a lot of us felt that same thing, where we were way over. I know myself too, and we're like, okay, got it. Is this needed in the story? Do we, what was in there and what was important, whatnot, and I know I messaged Carol and I said, can I just add one word to make it one over? And I was like, no, 4,500. Okay, put it back down.
I know. Like to the number, right?
That meant a number. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm tempted to have it 4,501. I'm like, no, put it back down. Put it back down. Okay. So, yeah.
You learn how to cut corners too. Uh-oh, did we get disconnected?
Yes.
Okay.
Nope.
Okay. Nope. I just kind of faded out, but we're good. We're good.
Oh.
Yeah.
There we go. Is everything okay there?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay. All right.
We have our shit together.
Exactly. There's the proof.
You can roll with it.
Exactly. So what are your hopes for our book, besides achieving international bestseller? By the way, guys, achieved. Woo! This book is like international bestseller. Just want to put that out there. And that's awesome for us, by the way. So woo! So what are your hopes for our book for everybody?
I hope that I already know what's happened, but I hope that people read our story, men and women, and they're inspired to know that they don't ever have to be stuck or pigeonholed, or that you can persevere through any adversity. But it takes work and practice and effort. But I just wanted to, if it changes one person's life, that means the world to me. And I actually had a woman write me on Facebook, a stranger I didn't know, who bought the book and wrote me and just said, I read your story and it really resonated with me. And it's just inspiring to know that, it kind of gives you hope, right?
Yeah.
That it doesn't have to be this way, whatever her story was. So that just reading that actually brought me to tears to think, okay, that's why it makes it so worth being vulnerable and sharing this part of yourself to hopefully give other people strength or inspire them or just shift something, plant a seed.
And give them hope as well to know that, they're not the only ones, because a lot of the topics in our book, we don't talk about openly.
No.
So, and we should be, for just, especially with the really tough topics, to destigmatize what's, attached to them. So mental health, for example, or domestic abuse, addiction, teen pregnancy, everything, and illness and whatnot. And we really need to be starting to talk about it, because I know, for myself, but even others around, it was a very isolating experience, because we don't talk about it. All we know is like, oh, life is going amazing, we have this and this, but we don't talk about the ugly side. And we really need to talk about the ugly side, because life is not always amazing. We do go through challenges and whatnot, and it's okay to say, look, I'm having a rough time. I'm not having the best go of it and whatnot. And we shouldn't be so afraid to say that, and we shouldn't be met with negativity when we do say that. Do you know what I mean? You should just say you're happy, or fake it till you make it. Well, you don't need to always fake it till you make it. Sometimes it's okay to say, look, you know what, right now, everything, as we were talking about, like, our shit is not together right now. Stuff is not flowing the way it is, or I'm not happy with certain things and whatnot.
It's okay to not be okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't think at any time all of us are always 100% okay. So that's a big one as well. So Jasmin, what are some other professional projects that you are currently doing it right now, or planning to do in the near future, that you can tell us about?
I have a few. Apparently I don't sit idle very well. I'm learning this about myself after 20 years. You think I know that. But what am I doing? So I'm doing a book launch for Fuck Fear here in Nova Scotia. It's on September 10th in Lower Sackville. So I would like to do a book signing, a cake, people can have drinks. And I'd like to just do a talk basically on the concept of like fuck fear and the concept behind it. And what else am I doing? My friend and I, we do a retreat. It's called Journey to Empowered Living. It's a one-day women's retreat that we do. And that's cool. And I'm also working on getting certified to teach body sugaring in Nova Scotia. I'm excited about that. I've been wanting to do that for like a decade, forever.
Awesome.
And I'm stepping into more coaching, one-on-one life coaching, I guess you could say. I'm in a course. I'm still working through the course, but a lot of people are already approaching me, and so
very good.
I'm just kind of, I haven't fully leaned into it yet, but I'm it definitely already happens. I'm I'm doing it. I know it, but I guess I gotta fully step into it. So that's on the peripheral right now. So it's in the works.
Awesome. That's really cool. Very, very neat. So would you be able to give the readers a brief synopsis of your chapter, and what would you like for them to take away from your chapter?
Sure. Yeah. So my chapter is basically about trust, and I speak about my own personal experience and going from, just being a kid, you come out in the world trusting everything around you. And then the light and whatever happens in your life can kind of create mistrust in people. So I had my own personal experiences where I knew I couldn't trust certain people or situations and what have you. And then you begin not trusting yourself, and then you start not making very good decisions and self-sabotage, bad relationships, because you don't trust anything. You don't trust even if you're in love with somebody, you don't know if you can trust them. So it's never really pure. So then over time, I basically had like an awakening, one of those like moments where that, just weren't working out, and I had to figure out what it was, and I had to work on myself, like, and practice daily, of learning how to trust myself again. And with that, once I began to trust myself, I could start choosing better, trusting my decisions, and choosing better relationships, and having different people in my life. And you and I talked about this, about trusting that you can let go of people in your life too. And, just make better decisions over time, and your life becomes more juicy and fulfilled. And a lot of it has to do because you trust yourself. It starts here. It always starts here.
Exactly.
So, that's the essence of the story. I want to say fuck the fear of being vulnerable, essentially.
Yeah.
And trust myself. Yeah.
And I know, like, as you mentioned earlier, we were talking, and for me, letting go was of people who weren't the best for me was probably my hardest, and trusting myself was the hardest to make those decisions. So, and I would not make the best decisions for me and whatnot. And we touched on boundaries and having those healthy boundaries, which is really, really important.
Yes,
in life to have.
Absolutely.
When I was younger, I was more of a people pleaser, and that wasn't the best. That wasn't very conducive to healthy living and even cultivating the best relationships. Do you know what I mean? So that,
absolutely.
Yeah. So we're definitely on that portion too, trust and getting over that fear again of that.
Not second guessing and stepping in things. We talked about the people pleasing aspect, like, do people like me? You're not sure, you don't trust people like
exactly. Do they like me for me, or exactly, or do they like what I'm doing for them? Exactly. So and that's not a good feeling. You want to cultivate people who like you for you, not for what you do for them, because that's not friendship or even love and whatnot, right?
It's not authentic.
No, all that's unconditional. There shouldn't be any conditions with that, except for respect and whatnot. But that's it. So definitely. Well, thank you so much, Jasmin, for joining me on the chat today. Is there anything else would you like to say before we say goodbye?
Yes.
I like the yes there.
Yes, I do.
Yes.
I would just encourage people to give themselves permission to step into the discomfort of fear, because it's feedback. It's feedback for you to, have an opportunity to grow. Doesn't mean you're never going to be afraid and you have to be courageous and strong and everything. It just means to step into it, and it'll give you a lot of, learning, and you usually evolve from it. You step into the fear and
exactly.
And you said something really good about, like, don't let it own you or limit you, or like you're going to work with it.
Pretty much say, fuck you, fear. I'm going to decide how I'm going to interact with you, and I'm not going to let you control my response. I'm not going to let you constrict me into your negative thinking. I'm going to work with you and learn from that situation. Feedback, right? It's feedback, as you're saying, and fear is not something to be, you don't want to be totally devoid of it, because fear means you're growing and whatnot, but you don't want it to be like you're inside and not living your life or not being fulfilled in your life and whatnot. So that's pretty much what this is about too, saying fuck that, we're gonna do what we need to do and not worry about what other people are gonna think, not be bogged down by all those thoughts and everything that comes along with fear, anxiety and whatnot. It's more
and a lot of it's the process, just I'm not going to give an example because there's so many, but the thought of what the situation, like, oh, this is going to happen, you create this big story in your head, and then you're anxious up to the point of the story, and then when you actually step over the threshold of the fear, it's a lot of times not as bad as you thought it would be, or you're so relieved you did it. It's the buildup a lot of times is what's really holds people back and limits them and pigeonholes them, but you're never stuck.
Exactly.
At least try to work through it. So many beautiful things can happen.
Exactly. And as soon as you do that, you change your perspective, and all of a sudden your life changes. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, stuff that you viewed as, like detrimental, all of a sudden you're going, well, really, hold on, this taught me something really amazing,
Mm.
and whatnot. I know for me, this is actually relatively recent. If in my story, I'm getting over a big heartbreak of somebody I really, really love, and for me, somebody had said to me, I think this was the other day, be grateful that you were able to experience that type of love, because not everybody does get to experience that emotion and that heartbreak. So be
Yeah.
grateful that you loved and lost. So that was a big one
Yeah. Talk
for
about
me as
feeling
well.
alive, even in the pain.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, even in those shadowy moments and those feelings, it's still like you feel alive, you know.
Yeah.
You can do
Awesome.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you
Sort
so
of
much. Oh, no, go ahead.
I'm just gonna say, like, when you the more you do step into certain fearful or scary situations, the easier it becomes. It's like flexing a muscle, and you work it out, and it just gets easier. So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's just taking the step. So, yeah, thank you.
Well, you're very welcome, Jasmine. Well, I'm going to end this for today, but thank you again so much for joining us in
Thank
Nova
you.
Scotia and whatnot. And I look forward to talking to you again soon and
Yes, and
whatnot.
if
And
you end up in Nova
everybody,
Scotia, come visit, come stay with me.
I will. I'll definitely take you up on that offer. And guys, you can find this interview every Wednesday, so I'll be posting it as well. But if you guys have any questions about the book, feel free to reach out to myself, Jasmine. We're really, really, we're badasses. And we'll definitely direct you on where to get the book, how you can get it, and whatnot. So please don't hesitate to contact us on anywhere. We're here. We want people to read it for sure, and it's definitely going to help others, and it already is helping others. So
Yeah, totally.
yeah. So don't.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you, Jasmine.
Thank you, P. Thank
Sorry.
you very much.
You're
Is
very
it P?
welcome.
Thank you. All
You're
right.
very welcome, Jasmine. Take care and have a great
You too.
afternoon. Bye.
You too. Thank you. Bye.